Most people don't get what they want, not because they're not capable, but because they never truly ask. They wish, they wait, they hope someone notices. But they never step forward and clearly, confidently ask for the life they desire. And that's where everything begins, not with talent, not with luck, but with the courage to ask. Asking is not begging, it's not demanding. It's a deliberate, confident act that sets powerful forces in motion. When you ask clearly, life starts listening. People take notice. Opportunities start aligning. But if you stay quiet, uncertain, or vague, life has no instructions to follow. The truth is, there's no shortage of success. There's no cap on abundance. The problem isn't the lack of opportunity. It's the lack of clarity and courage to claim it. And the good news is, this isn't some magical skill only a few people are born with. It's a mindset, a habit, a discipline you can build. You don't have to settle. You don't have to wait for someone else to hand it to you. You can ask, you can plan, you can act, and you can get what you truly want if you're willing to follow the right steps. Today, I'm going to share the timeless steps that will help you get whatever you want. Stay with me for the next few minutes as I walk you through them one by one. Let's dive in. Number 1. Know exactly what you want. Before you can get what you want, you need to know what that actually is. Vague desires lead to vague results. You can't walk into a restaurant, shrug at the waiter, and expect the perfect meal to land on your table. The same goes for life. If you're not clear, life doesn't know what to serve you. Clarity is power. It's the first step in turning thoughts into reality. When you define what you want, clearly, specifically, and with conviction, you give direction to your actions, your focus, and even your subconscious mind. Most people wander through life with general wishes. I want to be successful. I want to be happy. I want more money. But those are just hopes. They aren't goals. A real goal is detailed. It has numbers, deadlines, colors, textures. You can see it in your mind. You can feel it. Take Howard Schultz, for example, the man who turned Starbucks into a global phenomenon. His vision wasn't just to sell coffee. He was crystal clear. He wanted to bring the romantic European coffeehouse experience to America. Espresso, community, design, aroma, every detail mattered to him. And because he had that clarity, he knew exactly what to ask for when pitching to investors, hiring employees, and expanding stores. Clarity gave him the map, and courage gave him the steps. So ask yourself, what do you want exactly? Not vaguely, not someday, not more. Define it like a blueprint. Write it down. Describe it so clearly that if someone else read it, they'd know how to build it for you. When you gain clarity, you give your energy a target, and that target pulls you forward every single day. Without it, you're just spinning the wheels, hoping life figures it out for you. Getting what you want starts with knowing exactly what that is, not what sounds good, not what everyone else wants, but what you truly, deeply, specifically want. Start there, and the rest begins to unfold. Number 2, ask boldly and clearly. Once you're clear about what you want, the next step is to ask for it boldly, clearly, and with confidence. This is where many people hesitate. They fear rejection, fear judgment, or simply don't know how to ask in the right way. But make no mistake, asking is the spark that starts the fire. It's the ignition that lights up the entire process of receiving. You could be the most talented, most hardworking, most deserving person in the world, but if you don't ask, doors remain closed. The problem isn't that people are unwilling to help or that life is unkind. The problem is that most people are silent about their desires. They hint, they hope, they drop suggestions, but they don't ask directly. They don't say, "This is what I want, and this is what I'm willing to do for it." But those who do, they stand out. They are the ones who get attention, support, opportunities, and progress. Because life responds to boldness. Imagine a young entrepreneur named Maya. She had a great business idea, a platform to connect underprivileged youth with remote education resources. She worked day and night to build her plan, but when it came time to pitch her idea, she hesitated. She stumbled through her words, danced around her ask, and left meetings with nothing but a polite smile. She kept telling herself, "Maybe they'll understand what I mean. Maybe they'll see the potential." But they didn't, because people can't read your mind. They respond to what you communicate. Maya eventually realized that mumbling through her mission was costing her everything. So she changed to being. She practiced. She got specific. They walk in, and doors open. She walked into her next meeting and said, "With conviction, I'm building a platform that can help 1 million young people get access to quality education by 2028. I need $100,000 in funding and 3 strategic partnerships to get started. Here's what I've built so far, and here's what I'm offering in return." End quote. That clarity turned heads. It earned her a second meeting, then a third, then a deal. That's what asking clearly does. It moves the needle. It shifts the energy. It gets results. Now, asking boldly doesn't mean arrogance. It means certainty. It means standing behind your words when you walk into a room, with confidence, not ego, but real confidence. You're not just selling an idea, you're transferring belief. You're telling the world, "I've thought this through, I've done the work, and I'm here to move forward." Don't just ask once. Walk away, ask again. Ask differently. Ask better. If someone says no, don't take it as rejection, take it as feedback. Adjust your pitch, your tone, your timing, but don't go silent. Silence is the enemy of progress. Also, ask the right people. Not everyone is meant to support your journey. Some won't understand, some won't care. That's okay. Keep asking until you find those who do, the ones who see your vision, who align with your mission, who are ready to help. Open the doors. And let's be clear, asking isn't just for money. It's for mentorship, for feedback, for advice, for introductions, for wisdom, for support. The way, ask again. Ask differently. Ask better. If someone says no, don't take it as rejection, take it as feedback. Adjust your pitch, your tone, your timing, but don't go silent. Silence is the enemy of progress. Also, ask the right people. Not everyone is meant to support your journey. Some won't understand, some won't care. That's okay. Keep asking until you find those who do, the ones who see your vision, who align with your mission, who are ready to help. Open the doors. And let's be clear, asking isn't just for money. It's for mentorship, for feedback, for advice, for introductions, for wisdom, for support. The people who grow the fastest are the ones who ask the most questions and make the most requests. They don't wait for handouts, but they aren't afraid to raise their hand and say, "Can you help me?" And you'd be surprised how many people will say yes just because you had the courage to ask. So here's your challenge. Take the goals you clarified in Chapter 1 and ask for what you need. Who do you need to speak to? What resources do you need access to? What would move you forward if you had the courage to request it? Write those things down. Then go make the call, send the message, knock on the door. Be bold, be clear, be direct, because life doesn't respond to hints. It doesn't follow whispers. It reacts to bold, clear, intentional asking. If you truly want to get what you want, open your mouth, open your heart, and ask. Number 3, prepare yourself to receive. Asking is powerful, but asking alone is not enough. If you want to get whatever you want, you must prepare yourself to receive it. This is where many people go wrong. They say the right things, they even believe the right things, but deep down they're not ready, and life doesn't give you what you're not ready to handle. You don't get in life what you simply want, you get what you're prepared for. That's why preparation is not optional, it's essential. Imagine asking for a big opportunity, a leadership role, a business deal, a life-changing relationship. But when it shows up, you fumble it because you weren't ready. You didn't study, you didn't train, you didn't grow. So, even though life said yes, you weren't positioned to hold it. Let's take the example of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Before he became a Hollywood icon, he was a champion bodybuilder. But long before any of that success appeared, he had already prepared for it in ways most people don't see. While still in his early 20s, Arnold was studying acting, perfecting his English and training his body with ruthless consistency. He knew that success in America required more than just muscle. It required communication, discipline, vision, and relentless personal growth. He didn't just ask for fame. He became the kind of man who could carry it. He didn't wait for someone to hand him the opportunity. He prepared in advance so that when it came, he could seize it without hesitation. That's the mindset of someone who gets what they want. Not by chance, but by design. Preparation is more than practice. It's personal development. It's building the character, habits, and mindset to match the life you're asking for. If you're asking for financial abundance, have you learned how to manage money? If you're asking for a leadership role, have you developed emotional intelligence, communication skills, and the discipline to lead others effectively? The gap between asking and receiving is often filled with silent preparation. It's the work you do when nobody's watching. And late nights, the books you read, the skills you sharpen, the habits you build, that's what sets you apart. That's what tells life, I'm ready. There's a principle that says, if you're faithful with little, you'll be trusted with much. Think about that. If you can't manage a small opportunity, how can you be trusted with a bigger one? So, start by mastering the level you're at. Be excellent where you are. Prepare quietly, but intentionally. This chapter is also a reminder to stop waiting. Don't wait to be discovered. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Prepare like your moment is already scheduled, even if you don't know the date yet. Because when it comes, it won't give you time to get ready. It'll expect you to be ready. And here's the truth. Preparation builds confidence. The more prepared you are, the more certain you become. Walk differently, you speak differently, people feel it. That energy makes people trust you, follow you, invest in you. Preparation multiplies your ask with power. So what does preparation look like for you right now? Maybe it's learning a new skill. Maybe it's fixing your routine. Maybe it's building consistency, healing relationships, improving your health, or cleaning up your environment. Whatever it is, do it now. Don't wait until you're asked to step up. Start stepping up now. The world is full of people with big dreams but no preparation. Don't be one of them. Don't just talk about your goals. Become someone who can carry them. Align your habits with your ambitions. Build the foundation before the spotlight hits. That's how you turn a someday wish into a right now result. So ask but also prepare. Grow, sharpen, discipline yourself. Because the future you want is already on the way. And when it shows up, it won't ask if you're ready. It will assume that you are. Number 4. Believe like a child. Plan like an adult. There's a special kind of power in belief, not the rigid, cautious belief of a skeptic, but the open, fearless, wholehearted belief of a child. If you've ever seen the way children dream, you'll notice something remarkable. They don't think in limitations, they don't worry about being realistic. They simply believe, boldly, fully, without apology, and that's the kind of belief that moves mountains. But belief alone isn't enough. It needs structure, it needs direction. That's where adult-level planning comes in to get whatever you want. You have to combine two opposite forces, the childlike belief that it's possible and the adult-level responsibility to build it step by step. One without the other leaves you either dreaming forever or building without purpose. But together, they create magic. There's perhaps no better example of this than Walt Disney. At a time when animated films weren't taken seriously, when theme parks were nothing more than basic entertainment through a narrow lens, Walt dreamed up something entirely new. He believed in castles and characters, in immersive worlds and unforgettable stories. He believed in magic when others saw madness. But he didn't just believe, he planned, he sketched, he mapped out financial models, he studied crowd flow, design and storytelling. When people told him Disneyland would fail, that it was too expensive, too ambitious, too unrealistic, he kept building. Why? Because his belief wasn't casual. It was rooted in deep vision. It was tied to specific plans. He saw it so clearly in his mind that he had no choice but to bring it to life. That's what this chapter is all about. If you want to get what you want, you must believe like a child, see it before it exists, feel it before it arrives, hold it in your heart long before it's in your hands. But then you must turn that belief into action, into timelines, into checklists, into budgets, research, practice, and responsibility. Belief gets you started. Planning gets you there. Too many people are stuck at one end of this equation. Some believe but never plan. They have vision but no execution. Others plan relentlessly but have no belief. They go through the motions, but deep down they doubt it's even possible. Either one alone will leave you frustrated. The sweet spot, the winning formula, is the balance of both. Belief is what allows you to endure rejection. It gives you the resilience to bounce back after failure. If you don't believe in what you're building, one setback will stop you. But if you believe like a child with that pure, unshakable faith, then no amount of no's will break you. You'll keep going until the yes shows up at the same time. Planning keeps you grounded. It helps you measure your steps, assess your progress, and stay on course. A dream without a plan is a fantasy, but a dream with a plan becomes a mission, and missions move people. So how do you do both? Start by dreaming bigger. Give yourself permission to want more. Don't filter your goals through fear. Think like a child. Ask yourself, if I could have anything, what would I really go after? Then switch modes. Put on the adult hat. Take that dream and break it into steps. What do you need to learn? Who do you need to meet? What resources are required? What are the milestones? What's the timeline if you do that? That if you dream like a child and plan like an adult, everything changes. Your energy shifts. You move with purpose. You take bold steps instead of hesitant ones. You act as if it's already coming. And that mindset makes all the difference. You don't need to know every detail before you start, but you do need to start. You do need to hold on to your belief like it's the most precious thing you own, because it is. That belief will carry you through the rough days. That belief will give you strength when others doubt you, and your plan will give your belief structure a path, a process, a way forward. So believe, even when it seems impossible, even when no one else sees it, especially then. And plan. Plan like you're the architect of your future, because you are. That combination is rare, but those who master it, like Walt Disney, don't just wish for their dreams, they live them. Number 5. Trade your teaspoon for a bucket. Imagine standing at the edge of the ocean, waves rolling in endless water, stretching to the horizon. Now picture someone walking up with a tiny teaspoon, dipping it in and walking away. That's how most people approach life. Not because the ocean isn't full, but because their container is too small. They ask for little. They expect little. They prepare for little. And as a result, they receive little. The truth is, life is not short on abundance. There's not a limited supply of success, love, opportunity, or wealth. It's not rationed. It's not given to a select few while others are left behind. No, it's all there, like an ocean. The real issue is how you show up to receive it. Do you show up with a teaspoon, or do you come ready with a bucket? Too many people limit their lives by the size of their vision. Help possible. This isn't about greed. It's about expansion. It's about recognizing that you're meant to grow, to stretch, to do something meaningful. And to do that, you need to start asking for more, not from entitlement, but from responsibility, because the bigger your vision, the more lives you can impact. When you ask for more, you become more, and you raise your standards. You start thinking differently, operating differently, and showing up differently. You stop playing small in your conversations, your goals, and your habits. You begin to attract people, ideas, and opportunities that match the size of your new container. So here's the challenge. Take a good look at the areas of your life, your career, your relationships, your finances, and your health, and ask yourself, have I been showing up with a teaspoon? If the answer is yes, it's time to change that. Not next year, not when you feel ready, but right now. Write down what the bucket looks like. What would your goals look like if you stopped playing small? What would you ask for if you truly believed that life had no shortage, that people do want to help, and that doors will open when you knock loudly and confidently and then take the next step? Expand your vision. Expand your task. Expand your habits to match you. You don't need to know exactly how everything will unfold. You just need to trade in that teaspoon and show up with a bigger bucket, because the ocean isn't going anywhere. It's full. It's ready. The only question is, what are you bringing to it? Number 6. Take action daily, no matter what. You can have the clearest vision you can. Ask boldly. And you can believe with all your heart, but none of it means anything without consistent daily action. This is where most people fall short. They get excited in the beginning. They write down their goals. They even start to believe it's possible. But when the emotion fades, they stop moving, and success, real, lasting success, doesn't belong to those who move. Occasionally, it belongs to those who move daily. Daily action is the bridge between desire and achievement. It's the quiet discipline that turns dreams into results. It's not about taking massive leaps every day. It's about showing up again and again when it's easy, when it's hard, when you feel like it, and especially when you don't. That's these. Parator, think about Benjamin Franklin. He wasn't born a genius. He didn't stumble into greatness. He built it one deliberate day at a time. Franklin designed his life around personal improvement. He created a chart with 13 virtues like temperance, industry, and humility, and tracked them every single day. He was obsessed with progress, not perfection, but progress. That commitment made him a master of many disciplines: science, business, diplomacy writing, he became one of the most influential minds in history, not because of bursts of brilliance, but because of consistent effort. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. They try to sprint for a week, then burn out and quit. But success isn't built in a sprint. It's built in the marathon of steady, intentional steps. You don't need to move a mountain today, you just need to move a rock, and then do it again. Tomorrow's daily action creates momentum, and momentum is magic when you do something every day, no matter how small. It starts to build energy. That energy turns into confidence. That confidence turns into clarity. And before you know it, you're not just working, you're becoming someone new, someone unstoppable. And don't think it has to be dramatic. If you're a writer, write 1 page a day. That's a book in a year. If you're building a business, reach out to 1 new person every day. That's 365 opportunities a year. If you want to get in shape, don't wait for a perfect routine. Just move your body, even for 15 minutes. Action compounds. What starts small doesn't stay small. The danger is in doing nothing, and don't fall into the trap of confusing movement with progress. Just being busy isn't the same as moving forward. You can run in circles for years. Daily action has to be aligned with your goal. It has to be focused. It has to be intentional. That's how you build momentum in the right direction. But let's be honest, there will be days when you don't feel like it. Days when motivation runs dry. That's where discipline steps in for motivation. Emotional discipline is structural motivation that gets you going. Discipline keeps you growing. That's why systems matter. Set your environment up to win. Keep your goals visible on schedule. Your actions eliminate distractions. Make it easier to do the right thing than the wrong one. And also track your wins. Write them down. Celebrate your streaks. Even if it's small, progress feels good, and the more you see it, the more you'll want to keep going. But never let a day of missed action turn into 2 days missed. Day 2 is a habit. Keep yourself accountable. Here's the bottom line. Asking is the start, but doing is the difference. The world rewards action, not intentional. You can't just sit and visualize success. You've got to move, not once, not occasionally, but daily. And here's the beautiful part. Every step you take builds belief. The more you do, the more you become. The more you become, the more you attract. And that's when the doors start opening. Not because you got lucky, but because you stayed consistent. So start where you are. Do what you can and do it every single day. Let the others wait for the perfect time. You just start walking because those who act daily are the ones who get whatever they want. Not by chance, but by... Choice number 7. Stay humble, grateful, and ready. There's one more step on the path to getting whatever you want. And it's the one most people overlook. How you carry yourself while you wait. You've asked, you've planned, you've believed, and you've taken action. But the truth is, not everything you want will come overnight. Some things take time, some things take seasons, and in those in-between moments, when you haven't yet seen the result, you have a choice. Growing bitter or staying grateful. Complaining or staying humble, and doubting or staying ready to get what you want isn't just about doing the right things. It's about becoming the right person along the way. That's where humility and gratitude come in. They don't slow you down, they keep you grounded. They make sure your heart is in the right place, so that when the door finally opens, you walk through it with grace, not arrogance. Let's go back in history for a moment. Consider Abraham Lincoln. He's remembered as one of the greatest leaders the world has ever known. But many people forget just how many defeats he faced before reaching that point. He failed in business, lost multiple elections, and faced criticism after criticism. There were so many moments he could have quit, so many opportunities to grow bitter, to blame others, to give up on the dream. But he didn't. He stayed humble, he kept learning, and he stayed ready. Lincoln understood something powerful, that failure is never final unless you let it be. He didn't let delay destroy his desire. Instead, he used every setback to refine his character. By the time he became president, he wasn't just ready in skills, he was ready in spirit. That's what made his leadership not just effective, but enduring. And that's your job too, to prepare your spirit while you prepare your plans. Gratitude keeps your heart open. It reminds you that even if you haven't received the full vision yet, you've already come far. You're already come far. You're already growing. You're already becoming. And when you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you attract more of what you need. Humility, on the other hand, keeps you teachable. It helps you remember that no matter how much you achieve, you're still a student. You're still learning. The moment you start believing you've arrived, you stop growing. And that's when progress stalls. But when you stay humble, you're always open to correction, to feedback, to wisdom from others. You don't walk around demanding success. You walk with quiet confidence, knowing that your preparation speaks louder than your pride ever could. Now, readiness is the third piece, and it's essential. Many people miss their opportunity, not because it wasn't available, but because they weren't ready when it came. They let their attitude slip. They stopped doing the work. They waited passively, instead of preparing actively. Don't make that mistake. Stay ready, stay sharp, stay in motion. Because when life does bring you what you've asked for, and it won't give you a warning. It'll show up suddenly, and your preparation in the quiet seasons will determine how well you handle it in the spotlight. So, what does it look like to live in humility, gratitude, and readiness? It looks like showing up every day with your best effort, even when no one's watching it. Looks like saying thank you not just when you succeed, but even when you fail, because you know every experience is shaping you. It looks like continuing to learn, to grow, to refine your skills even when no opportunity is on the horizon. That's the lifestyle of someone who's destined for more. You don't just want to achieve success, you want to be someone who can sustain it. Because what's the point of getting what you want if you lose your character in the process? Or worse, if you receive it and aren't equipped to handle it. That's why this final step matters so much. It's what shapes not just your future, but your legacy. So as you walk this path, ask boldly, believe deeply, act daily, but also stay humble in your rise, stay grateful in the wait, and stay ready for what's coming. Because if you've done the work, if you've grown in silence, if you've carried yourself with integrity, then when your moment comes, you won't just take it. You'll rise to meet it, and that's how you get whatever you want. Not just by what you do, but by who you become in the process. You've now seen the path, the 7 timeless steps that unlock the door to getting whatever you want. And if there's one truth that echoes through every chapter, it's this. Success isn't an accident. It's not reserved for the lucky or the chosen few. It belongs to those who take full responsibility for what they want and are bold enough to go after it. It starts with clarity. Knowing exactly what you want is where the journey begins. Without a clear destination, even your best effort can lead you in circles. Then comes the power of asking, clearly, confidently, without apology. Life doesn't respond to whispers. It moves for those who ask with purpose. But asking alone isn't enough. You have to prepare yourself to receive what you've asked for. You must grow, build habits, sharpen your skills, and become the person worthy of that result. Then you combine childlike belief with adult-level planning, dreaming big while organizing your steps with discipline and detail. And let's not forget the size of your ask. You can't show up to an ocean with a teaspoon and wonder why you're still thirsty. Trade that teaspoon for a bucket, expand your vision, and raise your standards. Life has more to offer, but it won't give you more until you're ready to handle it. And above all else, take action. Not once, not for a week, but daily consistency creates momentum, and momentum makes things move in your favor. Success is attracted to those who keep showing up when it's hard, when it's quiet, and when there are no guarantees. Finally, stay humble, stay grateful, and stay ready. The biggest blessings don't always come when you expect them, but they do come to those who are prepared and grounded when they arrive. So don't just wish for a better life, design it. Don't wait for permission, ask. Don't wonder if it's possible, believe. And don't just dream, do, because getting whatever you want isn't about chance, it's about choice. And now that you know the steps, the only thing left is to take them. Your future is waiting. Go get it.